It was Oriole who kept his head when those around were losing theirs. The fast stagers were offering a deadly invitation to push too hard.
This way, you get close to the border.
Ari Vartman's superb first Australian drive ended with a seized gearbox, and Ewa Kankinen was driving out of his skin, just trying to keep his teammate inside. You couldn't help wondering if his challenge might not simply die of exhaustion. Dunkerton was in trouble right from the start, running off the road and damaging his suspension. It left Possum Bourne as the man most likely to chase the leading Lanciers and the same Celica. In Group N, Ed Ordinsky retained his firm grip on the class after the Mitsubishis of Japan's Inouye and West Australian Tolly Chalice fell back. The smaller Daihatsus swarming behind were led by Bob Nicoli. But with victories in the opening 3 stages of the day, it was Didier Oriole, not just holding off challengers, but extending his lead.
As the longest day continued, the rally action moved further south to the forest near Collie. Oriole was continuing to press hard, driving faultlessly. The second-place Kankinen, feeling good about his position now Ari Vartman was out, ran into strife himself, damaging his wheel and rear suspension. It cost him a minute and a half and allowed Carlos Sainz to retake second by a narrow margin. Fifth-place Ross Dunkerton was also having problems. After his suspension damage earlier in the day, he suffered a flat tyre early on one particularly long stage and had to change the wheel. It cost him 4 minutes. Possum Bourne would have been happy just to have had a flat. Instead, he ripped off a front wheel and part of his front suspension. It made driving a bit difficult and cost plenty of time.
Spent sort of 20 minutes trying to get it out of the bush, and we finally got it out with the help of some spectators who I must thank. If you're listening, thank you. And then we came out and the boys really pulled their best finger out, and they worked their guts out and got it all fixed up for us because they had to put a strut and that. And by driving out on 3 wheels, I smashed all the brakes and everything, so they had to put all new stuff on. So we were actually only right here 8 minutes late, so pretty pleased.
As a result of the incident, Bourne dropped from 4th outright to 9th. Jazz musician James Morrison would have settled for losing a few places, but after pushing too hard and putting the Celica on its roof, his problems were more terminal.
I think it's the end of our rally there. It's given up.
You put it on its roof yesterday. What happened there?
Yeah, well, we were doing well. We were just going along a straight and got a bit out of shape and clipped a tree and then off into a roll and ended on its roof. Managed to push it back over with the help of some spectators and officials and got it going again, but it was upside down for too long, I think.
So, the engine got a bit revved while you're upside down?
No, I think all the oil just went into the top of it. I don't. All the service guys know it really. They just told me it's broke.
final day of Telecoms Rally Australia, competitors had just 4 stages to negotiate. With his big lead, Oriel said he's going easy. But on the first stage of the day, he, Kankinen and Sains all break the record set last year. The biggest question remained, not can anyone beat Oriel, but can Sains catch Kankinen in second? The answer was no. On every stage, the Finn recorded the fastest times, and the Spaniard had to settle for third. Dunkerton too was trying to catch the driver in front, Jorge Recalde, but the task was beyond him in the time allowed, and it's Recalde 4th, Dunkerton 5th. Kiwi Possum Bourne, 10 minutes behind, had to settle for 6th. In 7th, and the first Group N car to finish, was the ever-consistent Ed Ordinsky, about 3 minutes ahead of Tolly Chalice in 8th, the second Group N finisher. Kiyoshi Inoue was 9th, and New South Wales champion, 25-year-old Craig Stallard, showed his promise by rounding out the top 10.
A moment of triumph for a record-breaking winner. After crashing in his first Australian rally in 1990, going out with engine problems last year, Didier Oriel had made it third time lucky. The first driver to win 6 events in a season, this victory seemed to come easy. Leading almost from start to finish, he set the fastest time on 12 of 35 stages, coming home with barely a scratch. For Kankinen, second placing after 3 successive first wins, while the overshadowed Carlos Sains saved his best till last. Donuts that most of us would find hard to keep down. With 10 rounds of the championship completed, the Frenchman holds a 16-point advantage over Sains. He now seems assured of winning the World Championship crown.